I be feeling like Mama Tina when it's time for me to start one of my videos.
It's corny joke time.
I'm the librarian, and I came to read.
So we are definitely going to be back this week. ForTheCulturePodcast.com will be putting out an episode on Wednesday. So make sure that you get your live. Make sure that you're going over and checking it on out. We got hours of content waiting for you guys. Patreon.com/Adrian, especially y'all already know what time it is. I wanted to talk about, man, what's his name, bitch? What's his name? Mr. Stephen Miller, among a lot of other White House Trump aides and people who work for the White House. These girls are getting heckled and harassed in the motherfucking streets, and they don't know how to fucking take it. So much so that it was news articles written about this shit. Like, they're getting exhausted. They're getting tired of every time they go out, they're trying to have a drink or have a meal or some shit, and it's not working out. The citizens are mad as hell. Now, DC is already, I think, a majorly Democratic city, I think. So they're just like, they see these hoes walking around after they got through destroying the economy and fucking over people with student loans, fucking over people's health insurance and shit. They see these officials walking around, they're just like, girl, if you don't take your ass. Stephen Miller, as I said, he was getting some sushi. Apparently, he purchased $80 worth of sushi, and they let his ass buy that shit, and it's only until he walked outside the establishment that the bartender came out and just cussed his ass out. Like, girl, we got your money. And then they gonna talk about the fact that Stephen Miller done threw away his fucking sushi. It don't matter if you threw it away or ate it, bitch, we got your motherfucking money. And in all honesty, it's our money, because I know y'all ain't spending y'all's, because we're the ones who pay y'all ass. We had Kellyanne Conway ass. This shit was funny. They dragged her ass in the fucking grocery store. She was like, what am I gonna do? Fall apart in the grocery aisle? Yeah, I hope that you do, sis. I hope that you do fall apart, like the Lego blocks that you're constructed like her. Get these hoes out of here. Whew. Now let's get into the scariest part of this video, because politics this week been so garbage. They've been so trash. Let's talk about it. The United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, they're creating a denaturalization task force. The goal is apparently to find U.S. citizens they say that should not have been naturalized and to revoke their citizenship and eventually deport them. So things are progressing as I have expected that they would. I said if they're coming for undocumented immigrants like this, or if they're coming for immigrants who are seeking asylum like this, and that shit is legal, I said there's no telling what they're about to do to actual citizens. And this is exactly what the fuck's happening. They're going through like, they are a teacher who missed a grade in a grade book or some shit. They're going down this, I shouldn't have given you this extra point, now you failed the class. Bitch, this shit is so fucked up. I said that they are going to come for the citizens in the same type of way, and that's exactly what the hell they're doing. If they can do all types of fucked up shit, which I'm going to touch on, tell them what, you missed a dot on your I in your form or some shit, you forgot to cross a T or some shit, girl. Okay, it doesn't matter if you've been living here for 69 years. I think someone just got deported from this fucking task force that lived here for a long, like their whole fucking life, and they gonna send their ass back. I said it before, and girl, it's coming. Okay, it's coming. And the reason why I know it's coming is because now this shit made me physically sick when I read it. Like, this shit made me like want to fucking vomit. It physically moved something in my spirit when I read this headline. Pregnant woman in immigration detention under the Trump administration say, and this has been corroborated by 5 different situations, like separately, and by the people who work there. Pregnant women in immigration detention under the Trump administration say that they have been denied medical care, shackled around the stomach, and abused. And that's not the worst part about it. Some of these pregnant women are miscarrying because obviously they don't have access to fucking care. They said that they were either unwilling or unable to help them like, people are bleeding out, like they're miscarrying, and they're being kept in these fucking concentration camps. I don't know, I really wish I was Superman or some shit. I could just go there, fly there, zap all these hoes, punch a few bricks out of the motherfucker and free all these people. It doesn't make any sense for people to be running from countries that are oppressing them to come here thinking that there's fucking hope and being torn apart. Like, and then you're pregnant on top of that, and people literally don't see you as a human being, and there are people even in our own prison systems who have done some crimes and they still get care, that like they still get taken care of. These people are being ignored like they're fucking rats in a sewer. I hate it. I hate it so much. And pregnant women, I'm so where's the fucking pro-life people? Where are pro-life people at? They're nowhere to be found, because of course protecting life is not their main priority. That's not their main priority. It's just they want to be able to tell women what the fuck they can and can't do with their motherfucking bodies. That's the only way that type of logic makes sense, because even with people who are our own citizens, when they have the baby that y'all wanted them to fucking have so desperately, desperately. Y'all ignore them. Y'all don't want to pay for no social services to take care of them. Y'all want to take healthcare away from people. Y'all don't care about life. Y'all need to get over yourselves. Oh my God, I said I wanted to be Superman and I didn't even. But yeah, that particular headline really fucked me up. I remember reading that shit last night. I was like, girl, let me just go to sleep. Like, this shit is really terrifying. And so, but people aren't sitting on their asses. We already know that. They are out there protesting, and they are out there going to these facilities trying to see if they can bring supplies or something. Bring something, girl. But a lot of them are getting arrested. Even people who are camping outside of these locations. I'm gonna show you something in Philadelphia, something that happened in Philadelphia. The police officers were just tired of this shit, and they just took their bikes and started running over people's tents and running over people's supplies and shit. So it's just, we're in for a very tumultuous, I don't know, what, 2 years, 4 years, 8 years, 10 years? I'm not sure what the fuck, like how long are we going to be in this shit? But let me tell you something, it's not looking cute, okay? It's looking like a long ass time, because you're talking about lifetime appointments. Brett Kavanaugh has been chosen by Trump to be his Supreme Court pick. Now, there are a lot of things that are going on with Brett Kavanaugh, okay? But one of the main things is the fact that he is very like mild-mannered and shit. So it's gonna be difficult for the Democrats, who already have a weak ass spine, to demonize him, or the optics aren't gonna look as cute as, say, if you were going up against somebody who's built like, you know, rhetoric is built like Jeff Sessions. It would be easier to demonize him. He went on the media talking about, you know, how he loves his family, how he has kids and all this shit, trying to make himself seem relatable, as if we can't see his past track record of, you know, conservative bullshit that he's done in the past. Now, he has been identified as someone who's extremely smart and savvy. You know, he knows his shit. He's not going to, he interprets the law. He doesn't make the law up. But we already know shit like Roe v. Wade. We know shit like affirmative action, you know, women's rights. All that shit is now at risk. Now, Trump, of course, wanted to really twist the knife that his fucking illegitimate ass was able to fucking pick 2 Supreme Courts. Like, I don't know how the confirmation works, but if the Democrats, my God, if the Democrats can somehow prevent it, if y'all can slip y'all ass through a loophole or something, girl, we are in trouble, girl. Get off y'all asses. I don't know how the confirmation shit works, but I guess someone can explain that shit. Can we block that hoe? I don't know, girl. I'm not even gonna lie like I know that shit. But one of the other things about Brett ass is that he loves executive power. He doesn't think, I mean, before is a different story, but right now he doesn't believe that presidents should be bothered with lawsuits and investigations. But once upon a time, girl, he argued that President Bill Clinton could be impeached for lying to his staff and misleading the public. Now, that is the definition of obstruction of justice. That's going, if it's applied to Donald Trump, that's just going to be really like, it's going to be hard for him to defend himself. But either way, he's backed by so much. I mean, even the people who are speaking, even the Republican people who are speaking against Trump were like, well, girl, this shit is a good pick anyway. So he did a good job at trying to control people and trying to control the courts and trying to make sure that he was defended. This shit is scary. That's all I'm gonna say. This shit is really fucking scary. And speaking of DC, there's a proposed bill that would give jail time for playing loud music. I mean, the loud music also includes like street performing and shit like that. So this is a really quick side note, but I think it's so pathetic that a lot of these white people come in, gentrifying places, kicking people out of their fucking homes and shit, and they enter a neighborhood that already has an established way of life, like culture and shit, like especially expressive ass minorities. Girl, like take your ass to a mostly Hispanic neighborhood, girl, you're going to hear, you know, sickening ass music on the street. You're gonna hear people expressing themselves. Like if you take your ass to a black ass neighborhood, girl, you're gonna hear us fucking, you know, out on the street performing, singing, rapping, do whatever. Like these people will buy out areas, come into these places, and try to demonize the already established culture that's there. It speaks to not only that area of society, but also the highest levels of government, that white people think that they own everything. Like they own every space that they come in contact with. It has to automatically coddle them, even though they've been coddled for the entire history of this country. It has to continue to coddle them. Otherwise, it's a threat. And we already saw that with how Mr. Adam Bloom ass tried to interrogate somebody, you know, interrogate a black ass woman for coming to her own goddamn pool. That shit was so fucking interesting. And even more speaking to the fact that they think they own everything, Adam Bloom got a platform on TV before the person that he harassed got a platform. I don't understand it. I mean, but I do understand it. You know what I mean? I don't understand it, but I understand it. And I hate it. And I think there was also another cloud-colored individual who was harassing someone for wearing a shirt with a Puerto Rican flag on it. And you can really see the stupidity flowing out of these racist people's brains because, I mean, we already understand that your ass is a bigot. Like, we understand that shit, but you couldn't even be a smart bigot? Like, bitch, Puerto Ricans are US citizens. Oh, you bitches are so fucking stupid. You hoes are stupid. Puerto Rico is a whole US territory. Like, what are y'all talking about? And it really does show why y'all fucking just let them die. Y'all let the storm come and y'all let them die over there with nothing. Because this type of racism that I'm seeing, that's how the government views the island. That's how the government views anybody brown. Okay? So of course you wouldn't fucking send aid over there. And of course you have people who are acting just like this man harassing this woman in the park. Anyone who doesn't look like you is automatically demonized and they shouldn't be here. I think that shit is so stupid, but let me tell you something. Life is funny because the shit always comes back around to you. I don't care how happy someone looks. I don't care how, elated. I don't care how rich. If you are going around treating people like they garbage just because you can, you are going to lead an unfulfilling, depressed, tortured life. Any smile that comes from anybody else, you're just going to automatically be suspicious of. How unfortunate is it to live your life without any type of happiness? So like, no matter how they try to act like they own the universe, the reason why they're freaking out is because they're realizing that they fucking don't, okay? And you can have a good goddamn evening.